Hey everyone, how are you today? So today we have some really cool stuff to go over, and I'm bringing you to one of my other properties. I like to bring you guys to actual properties I've done, and this one's really special to me, not only because the numbers worked out really well for me and I'm very pleased with the terms I got, but also too because I love this place. It's got like a zen atmosphere. I can throw a rock from my balcony and hit the water, so it's like a nice little getaway. It's important in life that in anything you do, you have things that remind you of what you do and why you sweat so hard and why you work so hard to accomplish those things. And that's what this property is for me. It's one of these special properties. So we're gonna talk about a couple things today I think are gonna be really helpful, and afterwards I'll give you guys a really nice tour of the place so you can see what it's like, and we can get you one step forward to building your arsenal so you can have your nice zen-like places where you can go and escape. Thank you very much for being here, and I look forward to sharing some other unique insights in the real estate that made me a much better investor. We're in one of the properties I really enjoy over here in San Clemente, Southern California, which is, for all those who don't know, South Orange County, and we're really close to the water, and it's one of my favorite places. I know we're shooting in the kitchen, but don't worry, I'm not a chef, and it's not gonna be a show about cooking. So there's this term that I've coined called turbulence. We all know what turbulence is on a plane, right? Well, in deals, turbulence are the things that can go wrong that kind of are extrinsic, outside of the deal. In other words, within the deal, what usually kills your deal? Well, usually price and terms. You and the seller can't agree on those things, right? Well, let's say that you are coming to an agreement with those things, right? Well, there's still a whole section of things that I call turbulence that are things that can still kill your deal. And it's a lot of them. Let me give you an idea of some of those things. For example, realtors. I love realtors, okay? They're some of the best people out there. But a realtor is not always working in your best interest, okay? Now, some realtors are because they're bringing you deals. But sometimes the seller says, well, I want to talk to a realtor first. Well, when that seller calls a realtor and says, hey, I'm getting ready to sell Joe my home at this great price, cash deal, whatever, close in 7 days, what do you think about that? Well, you're gonna find that most realtors, they can't relate to that. They come from a world where they list properties and let them sit on the market as long as they feel necessary to command the highest price. So you'll find that, for example, people like a realtor would probably kill your deal. That's turbulence. Attorneys, like divorce attorneys, they might counsel their client, regardless of the hardship their client's enduring, to go talk to a realtor. Or a bankruptcy attorney will say, well, why would you want to sell? Let's file bankruptcy first. Let's see if that makes more sense for you. Sometimes you have other issues. You have it's not necessarily people. It's like events. It's timing. It's some sort of a foreclosure or other deadline-based sale where you only have X amount of days. And I bought homes 24, 48 hours before they're going to be auctioned, and I've successfully, pulled it off. But it's also because I recognized what dangers are there. There's so many things that can be turbulence. There's friends, family, and neighbors. Don't be surprised how many friends, family, and neighbors have some sort of a self-interest. Either they want to buy the home from Aunt Mary or Uncle Joe, or they have a realtor that they know, their boyfriend, their friend, their member from church, whatever, that they want to recommend that you work with. Or there's other issues, like for example, you're in probate and it's got to be a court confirmation. You're worried about that. What does that mean, a court confirmation? It means that when you go to court, the court has to approve the sale and other bidders are allowed to show up and bid on the home as well. And there's a good chance they're going to bid higher than what you bid for the home. They could be trying to get a loan modification. They could be working with their lender to get a loan modification. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's sufficient to say that if they're talking to you and there's a reason why they're looking for a quick sale, the property's probably distressed, and there's probably a good solid reason why a loan mod might not be in their best interest, as far as maybe if they can't afford the current payment, how they're going to afford the new one. Maybe they have income problems. There's a reason why people typically don't make payments or whatever, right? So I'm not saying that a loan modification is a bad thing. I'm just saying that these kind of things could be averse to your interest, to what you want to do. So you have to recognize that, right? You're in the business of buying property and hopefully buying at the best price you can. So you have to recognize, is there litigation? Is somebody suing somebody that somehow affects the title of the property? Is there a refinance? Is there a mortgage company trying to address them, trying to get them to refinance the home instead of selling it to you? And obviously, if they contact the loan officer or bank and say, hi, I want to sell my home at a great price to Joe, do a quick cash sale, close in 7 to 10 days, what do you think about that? Well, you're going to find that they're not going to advise for their client to do that because, once again, it's not in their best interest. Loan officers don't make money if the seller sells the home to you. Loan officers make money if you do the loan with them. And sometimes you have other issues. Sometimes you have members on title, but you can't find them. That's really common. I mean, I've had people, I've tracked them down in China, I've tracked them down in Samoa, all over the world. We've had to do deals and send them over to consulates and embassies and all that. And here you are, you get a hold of one member, they're like, fine, I'll sell you the home at this price, no problem, but I don't know about my cousin who's on title or my wife. We're estranged 18 years. And you're like, oh. You see, and those are the real issues. Those are the things that you have to look out for. Or you have clouds on title. Maybe you were sued in the past. Maybe you have some sort of liens or other issues. That's what clouds are. Clouds are things that have to be resolved before you can sell the home. So my thing is, hey, let's be excited. We're in a great industry, but spend your time worrying about what could go wrong, okay? I guess yes, if you're asking, yes. In my world, that glass is half empty. It's half empty. And until you close that deal, it's not gonna be half full or full because I wanna worry about what can go wrong. So, what we need to focus on, remember, when you do the deal, and as you're in the negotiation stage, always ask yourself, what is the turbulence? What could go wrong here, okay? And turbulence might present itself in the very beginning because you're gonna see that, oh, you're gonna see flyers for realtors on the coffee table or whatever, or you're gonna ask them. I have little clues I like to ask. You know, if you don't mind me asking, are you working with anybody else? You know, are you talking to a competitor or this or that? I'll ask them. Or I'll ask them, hey, what do you think your home is worth? And then they'll tell me, well, I think it's worth this much. And then I'll say, well, if you don't mind me asking, what do you base that value on? Oh, well, then they'll answer I just had an appraisal done. Bingo, you just recognize your turbulence. They're trying to do a refinance. Or, oh, a realtor gave me some comparables. Bingo. Now you realize what your turbulence is. It's a realtor, right? And you can't overcome an issue if you don't recognize what it is. First, you got to identify a problem before you can solve it, right? So the key is that we always want to recognize what's that additional thing that could go wrong, okay? And I promise you guys that I don't mean to sound negative. Being a real estate investor is a freaking awesome business. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I just want to give you the secrets that I've learned that's going to make you better. And I don't want to paint this rosy, beautiful picture. On the contrary, I want you to know that you're going to have these moments that you need to look and ask yourself, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? What could go wrong? And as long as you do that, you're going to close more deals and you're going to become a really good problem solver. And that skill will make you a lot of money in your career, okay? So hopefully you guys got something out of this because I got to tell you, this particular thing has been very helpful to me, okay? Look forward to seeing you guys on the next shoot.